If ever there was a franchise I'd like to fuck, it would be Pokemon. While the official Nintendo releases have never failed to keep my interest thus far, the big problem with addictions is that you need more to get the same feeling. This is why I turned to ROM hacks, and the first hack I ever played to leave a strong personal impression on me was called Pokemon Snakewood. So the game starts by being lasered by giant sharks with laser eyes. How did I just say that as if it were a normal sentence? So believe it or not, that wasn't actually what the game is about, but in a few minutes, you're gonna wish it was. It actually starts with our character waking up in the ruins of Little Root Town with amnesia. From here we go to where the professor's lab used to be and choose between our starter Pokemon. However, instead of telling you explicitly what the starter Pokemon are, you have to guess based on vague sections of their Pokedex entries. You might be able to guess that the Pokeball spewing exhaust fumes is coughing, but then you have a Pokemon that spins lowly on its axis and has an air of ill health about it, which are Baltoy and Paras respectively. And can I just say, were you really expecting me to guess those Pokemon? If I were to tell you that was a Pokedex entry that states its motions are bouncingly alluring, what Pokemon do you think that one is? It's Jinx! Yeah! That is supposed to be alluring! Just to remind you, Jinx can naturally learn Lovely Kiss, Mean Look, Fake Tears, and Pound. That isn't alluring, it sounds like the worst girlfriend I've ever had! And I get what they were going for by creating a type triangle with the starters, but your rival has the same Pokemon no matter what you choose, making this decision as pointless as a blunt pencil. The option of starters is made even more annoying when you learn the hard way that Baltoy is the only Pokemon worth a damn. Coughing doesn't learn any good moves in the early game, making battling with him incredibly slow and tedious, and Paras gets one-shot by literally everything! His Pokedex entry in Ruby actually states that his mushrooms are highly valued in medicine that extend life! Why not use them? Now you may be wondering why I was censoring a few of the images earlier, but I have a good reason for that. Zombies. Pokemon Snakewood is actually a sequel to Pokemon Ruby in which the Hoenn region is infested by zombies. In fact, the big thing that actually got me invested in this when I started was the zombie Pokemon, or more specifically, the fact that each zombie has a pun name. At least, that's what I thought. After showing off Boil, Basaur, and Polyhag, the creator seems to have just given up and throws out stuff like Rotmander. What? Was Scarmander too easy for you? But even after that, we have complete trash like Dirt Crow, Molder, and Entrailtle? Okay, firstly, Wart Turtle. Secondly, what's the point of going to such effort if you're not going to put any effort into it? Another problem I have with the zombie Pokemon is that they're fuck ugly. I mean, I'm sure that's the intention, but most of them just have palette swaps with random bloodstains. That is until you get to hellscapes like... Anyway, back to the story. We're found by Professor Birch, who tells you we have to look for our older brother and his daughter who went off in search for an answer behind the zombie outbreak. Now, the fact that they sent out those two characters makes sense. One is the Pokemon League champion and the other is the daughter of the region's leading scientist. Your character has amnesia! She can't even remember that she had a brother! Frankly, I think the cast of Scooby-Doo would be better suited to solve this mystery. At least their animal could actually do something. Birch also gives me an egg, which with the quality of this hack became the only reason I kept playing. It was taking so long to hatch that it must have had something special in it. He also gave me his phone number, which seems like a pointless gesture saying how he won't accept any of my calls. Oh, so you gave a mentally unstable woman an unborn child and then deny any responsibility for her. Real figure of manhood right here. The phone's main function is for Birch to tell you where to go when the writer couldn't do the job themselves, which is a problem because the story is the only completely original thing here and it's really poorly executed. The writer tried to create some dramatic moments, but the soundtrack is exactly the same as that of Pokemon Ruby, meaning you can watch someone sacrifice themselves to a horde of monsters, but this is the music that will play afterwards. The other thing that was bogging this game down were the battles. Snakewood gives opponents higher level Pokemon and are more likely to use item, which is fairly common in ROM hacks as to increase the difficulty. In return, the creator will usually put a more effective item in the early areas, like how you can find a corpse half eaten by zombies and by searching it you can take... leftovers. Yeah, not entirely sure you should be eating that. The problem comes in the fact that where trainer Pokemon are stronger, wild Pokemon are not. This created the situation where I was forced to grind to fight 2 level 13 Pokemon where the only wild battles I could find were, at best, level 5. And it's not like it would be any better catching more Pokemon for my party, because they're all gonna be level 5! I haven't seen this much grinding since I watched the Salt and Pepper Shakers have sex. An odd choice of porn, but in my opinion, a lot more tasteful. Oh god, finally the egg is hatching. I've been playing this game for hours and now I get to see what Pokemon lies within. What glorious creature did the creator place inside the capsule that it was so proud as to force me to raise it? What possible beast could emerge from the ornate shell I was cursed with? Show me! Show me your power! You gotta be fucking kidding me! I give up. Pokemon Snakewood is an incredibly uninspired and boring ROM hack. I would say it's comically bad, but the gameplay is so monotonous that I forgot to laugh. From what I can gather, the game takes you through a pretty large chunk of Pokemon Ruby, but frankly, I don't want to do that. If I wanted to wander around a world inhabited by brain-dead people, I would go back to college. So if you excuse me, I've got somewhere else to be. Specifically, as far as I fucking can from that thing.